Mr. President, I rise on a matter of personal and collective privilege. Mr. President, halos isang linggo na matapos ang habulan at barilan dito sa Senado. Sa loob-loob ko, hindi ako mapanatag na simula nung Lunes, ang ipinapakita natin ay para bang walang nangyari. Na para bang hindi nabastos ang ating institusyon, ang ating mga empleyado, at ang mga Pilipino. Hindi maliit na bagay ang nangyari dito. At lalong hindi dapat inaasa sa mga Facebook Live, press conferences at media interviews ang pagtatahi-tahi ng mga pangyayari. Ganito na ba talaga kababa ang inabot ng ating politika sa Pilipinas? Ito na ba tayo, Mr. President? Tuluyan na bang nilihis ng politika ang ating mga pamantayan sa pakikipagkapwa? The situation stooped so low that here, in and around these same august halls, may pwedeng magkasa ng barel sa harap ng mga sibilyan. Dear colleagues, kahit kailan, hindi yan nangyari sa Pilipinas. Kahit panahon ng kudeta, not even during the darkest days of martial law, did gunfire erupt within our halls. So, whether we stand in the minority or in the majority, the Senate, as an institution, has sustained a profound injury to its dignity, credibility, and moral authority before the Filipino people. And this frustrates me every day since Wednesday, including in the context of initial findings from the investigation conducted by the Department of Justice, the Department of the Interior and Local Government, and the Philippine National Police, beginning to reveal various points. Patuloy pa rin ang investigasyon, Mr. President, at dapat lang. But still, this needs to be said. Kapag may nagpaputok ng barel, right here in the people's house, kapag naghasik ka ng takot sa mga empleyado, sa media, sa security personnel, at sa mga sibilyan, kapag may natroma dahil sa karahasan, at umuuwing nanginginig at hindi mapakali sa sariling bahay, lampas na ito sa isyu ng pamumulitika. Pambabastos na yan at pang-aabuso sa lahat-lahat ng ipinagkatiwala sa Senado bilang mga lingkod bayan. As we all know, democracy has always made room for disagreement. But, dear colleagues, hindi na ito political disagreement. Hindi na ito isyu ng kampihan. What should trouble us is the manner by which this agreement is being settled, which reflects a broader national discourse that has become more coarse and unforgiving. When aggression is normalized and humiliation is treated as political currency. We cannot have a culture that proudly treats fellow Filipinos as enemies to be defeated, all in the name of clout. Yung mga pagbabanta, pambibintang, pananakit ng damdamin, hindi yan ang dapat ginagawang sukatan ng tapang. Kahit magkakatunggali sa politika, hindi tayo dapat ganyan sa isa't isa, lalo na dito sa Senado. Hindi ito tahanan ng ganyang kababang uri ng politika. Ngayon, higit sa kailanman, dapat manaig ang ating pagka-Pilipino. I refuse to believe na tayong mga Pilipino ay mga bulag na sumusunod sa sinumang politiko. I refuse to believe na wala nang natitirang malasakit, hiya o pagmamahal sa bayan. Kasi ang mga krisis, ang mga sakuna, hindi yan nagtatanong kung sinong kakampi mo sa politika. Lahat tayo tinatamaan at lahat tayo may responsibilidad. At tayo mismo, dito sa Senado, kaya nating magkasundo. In fact, all of the laws I myself have championed could not have passed without the support of those from across the political aisle. And I refuse to believe that this institution that has crafted laws for the most marginalized, that has conducted crucial investigations, that have moved the needle at various political junctures, is beyond repair or redemption. Let us remember, Mr. President, that we have a bicameral legislature with a Senate elected at large, precisely to have a body that can rise above parochial concerns and craft a vision for the entire nation. At kaya kong sabihin ng buong puso that this Senate has, at its best, shown that disagreement does not destroy our common duty. We have passed laws across party lines. That is why we cannot act as though nothing happened last week. Alam natin ang tama at mali. Alam natin kapag sumosobra na. And this is what our country needs from us now. For the Senate, in this difficult hour, to reflect the best of our people. May we prove worthy of the trust that our people have placed in us. Marami pong salamat sa inyo at sa lahat, Mr. President.
Before I recognize Senator Pia and Senator Marcoleta, you know, the curious thing is the prayer of Senator Kiko and the prayer of former Senate President Tito Soto yesterday. We all agree with it. We're just looking at it from different sides of the political lens. And many of your statements today, Senator Risa, many of us, if not all, agree. But we all won't agree that parang walang nangyari. I don't know where that came from because I don't think anyone is treating it trivially. It's just a matter of how we can focus on it given that there is a real economic crisis, crisis of prices, oil crisis. Our stock is running out. We're convening into an impeachment court. You know, our staff are overwhelmed by the number of investigations, by the number of subpoenas that are here. They're asking us to produce so many things while we're also doing our own. So while we will agree with you and let's discuss later on which committee, I do not think anyone is acting as if parang walang nangyari. Senator Pia or Senator Marcoleta?
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, may I ask if Senator Risa would yield to a few questions?
Can we take a minute suspension?
Parang walang nangyari. Yan po ang statement ng ating butihing Senadora Risa Hontiveros.
Siguro po para sa inyong mga wala dito. Pero para sa amin na nandito, napakaraming nangyari. Takot na takot po ako na kailangan ko na magpaalam sa mga anak ko. At yung staff ko, 2 pintuan ang pagitan ko sa putukan. Yung staff ko na si Claire, na 20 years na sa akin, nandun siya sa labas. She has a 12-year-old son. Kinuwento niya sa akin lately na tumatakbo siya, hindi niya alam kung saan siya pupunta. Pero nung pagkatapos ng lahat, pagtingin ko ng group natin, yung dating majority group, walang ni isa sa inyong nangamusta sa amin.
Maraming salamat, Mr. President. I empathize with the experiences and the feelings expressed by the gentlewoman from Taguig and Pateros. May I just repeat what I clearly stated at the context of na parang walang nangyari. I'm talking about ngayon, after those terrible events that caused fear and a lot of other negative emotions and experiences sa ating mga colleagues, sa ating mga Senate staff, sa security unit dito at sa Senate media. Yun po yung punto ko, and it is akin to one of the points raised by Senator Erwin earlier before my privileged speech.
But let
So
me
just
assure
to
you
correct
that's not
that,
the
Mr.
case.
President.
In fact, I have to deal with the security of the Senate every day. I'm just not telling you everything that we have to deal with now to make sure that there's no bombs in the in the area, just like every day except this time, and also making sure that there's no miscommunication between the executive, legislative, judiciary, and the international community. That's precisely why we are waiting for the complete investigation, because there are matters that when are discussed in public will cause more alarm and confusion rather than clarity. But that doesn't mean na parang walang nangyari lang. I think that's the point where there will be strong answers, Senator Risa. But of course, you have your point of view, and we respect that.
Thank you, Mr. President. And lastly, just for the record, as I said earlier, I deeply respect the emotions of our distinguished colleague. It's evident that the violence that breached our halls has profoundly affected all of us. And I don't doubt, Mr. President, the leadership's personal distress over what transpired.
Thank you.
However, when I stated that it feels now as though walang nangyari, I was not speaking about our personal feelings. I was speaking about our institutional posture.
Thank you for
Our
that.
grief as senators is valid, but our mandate requires action. Salamat po ng marami, Mr. President.
Thank you for that statement. And personally, I've stated this again and again. And I don't doubt the sincerity of President Marcos when he called to check if we are safe and to assure us that it wasn't an attack from the executive department. I don't doubt that. That's why we're waiting for the full investigation. Thank you. Majority Leader, let's
Yes,
proceed.
Mr. President, just to put on record, it's really way different when you are here inside this Senate premise, especially during the time when we were inside that one room, Mr. President. I would still recall the gunshots, the smelling of gunpowder, Mr. President, and everything that we had experienced. So it's really different, Mr. President. Just want to put that on record. With that, Mr. President, may I move now to that we proceed with the reference of business.
Yes. Please proceed.